Hey guys, how's it going? And happy Friday. I hope all of you are doing good. And hopefully it didn't rain as much wherever you're at as it did today. But I'm in my shop. I'm almost dry and I just got off of work. And I always look forward to Friday nights because I get to hang out with all of you. Now, if you look at the title of this stream, there's three main topics there. Two of them are doom and gloom. And one of them is actually something that is really good news that I'm super excited for. So what do you guys think? Do you want to start off with the good news or the doom and gloom, one of which affects Michigan? More gun control coming very, very quickly, and a lot more than just one bill. But I'm going to go over one because this is crazy. And I know a lot of you don't live in Michigan, but you're going to want to hear about what they're doing and why they're doing it and how they're doing it and how the other side is so good at playing 3D chess and using us against ourselves. So this is a valuable lesson and more dire straits if you live in Michigan, but a valuable lesson for everybody. And they're going after the First Amendment. Don't worry, guys. I know some of you are believers and some of you aren't in the good book, but I've got my Bible right here. But I hope everybody's a believer in the First Amendment, just like I believe you should have the right to read your Quran if that's what you're into, or whatever teachings you believe that your creator's teaching you. But they're coming after this again, always, no matter what. And they're coming after all of us, always. But I've got your back, and I know a lot of you guys have my back too. And I encourage all of you guys to sit and chat and talk together in these live chats. And when it's time, gather stones together, as the Bible says. Let's talk about some good news first, and then we'll get into some of the craziness. Well, the first good news is I'd like to thank everybody for the many ways you guys help support the channel. Thank you to all of you who are Patreon supporters, channel members. I put out extra bonus videos for Patreon supporters, YouTube channel members, and local supporters. So make sure you guys check that out, and I'll get you guys some more landscaping footage soon because it seems like you guys kind of like that. So definitely like to give you guys some perks. Also, thank you to all of you who leave generous super chats. I really appreciate that. And those of you who just like the videos, leave comments, share them on your social media with your friends. All of that helps. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate that. Also, speaking of ammo, we're going to talk about some new PSA AAC offering that I've literally been talking about forever. And I'm like super, super excited that it's here. But before we get into that PSA ammo, I want to give a shout out to Rockville Precision Munitions, RPM. They're out of Middle Tennessee. Locally owned company, a good friend of the channel. He sends me some ammo to test and evaluate, not paying me any money to talk about him, but he's been a longtime viewer and supporter of the channel. And I like to shout out businesses that are owned by viewers and fellow patriots. And the owner of RPM is a good dude and has become a good friend of mine. So here's some of his 10 millimeter. Okay, this is an FMJ offering. He has tons of different loadings in both remanufactured as well as brand new production. A lot of 10 millimeter you buy out there is actually just like 40 long and expensive. Like has the same terminal performance, and in some cases, unfortunately, less terminal performance in some of the big box store 10 millimeter than 40 Smith & Wesson, not RPMs. So I would definitely check this out. This is a full house loaded 10 mil that's actually have the performance and actually kick that proves you're a man if you shoot it. I mean, the only reason why all of you guys own 10 mil is to prove you're a man, right? Okay, well, good. Time to man up and shoot some 10 millimeters, some full house that'll actually do a little bit more than 40, which, 40 is not a weak cartridge, but kind of supposed to be more powerful than 40. Check out my locals community for more information that I'm not going to be able to post here on YouTube, but as soon as this stream's over, I'll make a post and definitely check that out. I'd also like to, because we're talking about First Amendment censorships, I'd also like to tell you guys a little bit more about Myriad.social. The link to them is right down there in the description. They're not only a censorship-free site, but uncensorable. This is on the blockchain, meaning not one single person or gatekeeper even has the ability to hold all of the media that's there. So like the CEO of Myriad couldn't delete your post even if they wanted to. And that should be what everybody wants to look into nowadays, where we have big tech that censors and the government that censors. And I just said big tech and I just said the government. And I'm pretty darn sure I just repeated myself, actually. So check out myriad.social. It's free to join, or you can just go see my page where I have several different timelines. I post a deals timeline with awesome deals that you guys will want to know about to save money. Events. There's a bonus shooting video over there that you guys can see that's not on YouTube. So definitely check out myriad.social. Links down there in the description. Like I said, just go over there and browse my site just to get started for free, my page, if you will, and my timelines, and you can create an account totally free without even using a password because, again, it's on the blockchain, censorship free, but uncensorable, and it's something we really need to think about. And they're an up and starting social media site, but I definitely want to tell you guys about it so you're on the cutting edge. And also my locals page where I do live streams every Saturday where I can actually touch guns, and where I was able to first post an awesome deal on the brand new made in the USA, available at PSA. It's the AAC Soviet Arms 7.62 by 39 ammo. Now, here's the thing. I actually technically have 2 boxes of it right now. So tomorrow, I should be able to get it early in the morning and have a video up for you guys tomorrow here on YouTube. So make sure you stay tuned if you want to see some. Because my friend Josiah, he's one of the co-founders of PSA. Basically, he had to do this. He got me the first 2 boxes, at least the first 2 legit boxes out of the factory there. He got me 2 boxes, like literally sent it out in the mail 2 days ago, and it arrived at my house. Now, I've been cutting grass and working outside and doing mulch today in the rain until dark. So I ran straight to my shop. If I would have gone home to get the ammo first, we would have missed the live stream. So you will literally see it tomorrow. I have it at my house. My wife assured me it's there. I just haven't been home yet. So you guys will get a sneak peek. And of course, since I'm part of the 2A EDU locals community, I gave all of my community members over there, my supporters and free members, like a 20-minute scoop on it before it was put out in the daily deals. Now, since then, it's sold out. So you can't get any more right now. However, that's why I tell you guys, don't just come over to my locals on Saturdays for the live streams. I mean, do come over, but don't only come over on Saturdays, because I'll post like some crazy deals and cool stuff that's like right there at the spur of the moment. So I had a little scoop on when it was going to be released, and I was right there, and I had it shared within 5 minutes, and I think 3 of my viewers were able to get some, and it did end up selling out. Now, also, you guys can go over to locals when you're buying stuff and use my links over there, and you can become a financial supporter of the channel totally free, and I help you guys out, and hopefully you guys don't mind helping me out a little bit as well. So I was looking back on my channel, and 2.5 years ago, actually, like literally, I've been on this from like the very beginning. I was the first person on the whole internet. I'm not joking. Like a little small channel like mine, I was the first person on the whole internet to announce in a video here on YouTube that PSA would be making steel case ammo. Now, AAC was just barely up and running. Like I literally found out about this stuff like at the very, very beginning. So I made the video and said, PSA will be making steel case ammo. Then they started talking about it. And like most things, it took some time. When you make steel case ammo, it's way different than just like putting a different bullet or a different powder weight. And there is a lot to all of that too. Trust me, I'm not taking anything away from it. I was just talking on the phone the other day to my friend Lee, who owns RPM, Rockville Precision Munitions. I've done a complete extensive tour of the AAC factory, and it's a factory. Like this is a huge, huge place. Like this whole big building, like their production capability is beyond what I would have ever imagined. There's a lot of skill that goes into taking, well, let's see here. Let's develop a new, let's just say you had a brass cased 55 grain 5.56, and then you want to develop a 62 grain loading. it's not as easy if you want to do a good job of just throwing a 62 grain bullet in there instead and doing nothing else. No, lots of science goes into it, lots of testing, evaluation, equations. I mean, you kind of have to be like a scientist when you're developing loads like from the ground up. And you certainly have to have a lot of skill to do what a lot of you guys do at home, which is maybe just following book loads or starting with a book load and then maybe working up what's called your ladder load to achieve like the maximum capability where it's still safe. Shout out to all of you guys who know how to do that, because that's also a lot of skill and a lot of effort and a lot of painstaking grittiness and risk and all these things. Like, messing around with making ammo is not really for the faint of heart. Let's just be honest. So there's all of that. And of course, all of that goes into making steel case ammo. But wait, there's more. See, the way they extrude and draw brass case ammo from a cup, and I literally have some, and I've showed them on this channel before, some of the brass cups. It starts off as just a little round little disc of brass, and it extrudes and draws out the brass and literally forms it into a case with all the different steps. And I've literally got to see all of it with my own eyes, and that's how I know what a feat it is. It's like just crazy to know that like people just know how to do all this stuff, right? Like, I've been around this stuff forever. I've been into guns for like 30 years, but I'm always learning new things. And when I went to that AAC factory, I learned many new things. Like, whoa, wow. And I've been to the Phoenix Ammunition Factory, which is not too far from where I'm sitting right now, and learned lots of new things there too. But like, AAC makes this ammo from the ground up, from raw materials, right? Like, they literally like have these big zinc ingots, and there's this big round pot. It's like the size of a jacuzzi. Don't swim in it, but it's like this big hot tub, jacuzzi tub looking thing. Probably like a really big hot tub, small swimming pool would be a more accurate way to describe it. And you literally like climb a ladder up there, and you've got these big like tongs, and you like gently lower in like a 50, 60 pound like ingot of lead, and it melts it. And then it like extrudes it out and makes this lead wire. And then like the lead wire goes through a process. And then they have these big, huge like spools of copper for the jacketing, and it gets smooth and pushed in like the lead wire into the jacketing. And it's just like, when I say make, I'm talking like literally making from raw materials from the ground up. So I saw that. Now, I also saw there a couple of years ago, the equipment had just arrived in. I don't know if I'm supposed to say where it came from or not, so I'll just leave it at that. It had arrived in. And part of the warehouse area that was adjacent to the AAC factory at that time, I'm going to be going to hang out at PSA again this fall, and maybe I'll see where now the ammo factory is much larger, and I'm assuming that's what I'll see. But I had seen like crates that had just come in, shipped in, if you will, right? Like all crated and